Okay, I'm going to try and speed through this intro and be done as quickly as possible. I have a lot of mods installed for Blaze. These mods should help you to see what I'm doing in this video a little bit better. If you want any of these for yourself, there's a link for the community Discord in the description. There's a ton of resources there, including a modding channel, mentorship, ball control guides, matchmaking, all that sort of stuff. I also have the input viewer mod installed in case you want to see any of my exact inputs. It's going to be in the bottom left corner. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's go get started. Okay, look, the first thing you really gotta know for this is jump bunting. I know it's super simple and easy and stupid, but you really gotta practice it. The key is really to, pretty obviously, jump and then bunt. If you try bunting before you try jumping, you're just gonna stay stuck on the ground. And I know it's just like, it's such a simple concept, right? But it's so important to practice it. Like, this isn't even just for toxic wall tech anymore. This is for ball control in general. Anyways, get used to doing it a lot. Okay, with the simple ball control stuff out of the way, let's talk about Toxic herself. First things first, Toxic sucks some serious dick, man. I'm gonna level with you. She drops to the ground like a rock, and her hitboxes suck, like even for a low tier. Anytime you do anything with Toxic in the air, you have to be sure that you're holding jump. That way she doesn't collapse to the floor and have a fucking heart attack. Okay, her hitbox problems aren't actually all that big of a deal. I still think you should know about them, though. Main points, she has one of the smallest hitboxes in the game, and while everybody else can hit a ball that's right up against the wall with the top portion of their bunt hitbox, she can't. It's awful, right? Because wall tech usually means you want the ball to be up against the wall. Instead, you have to play around this stupid fucking game design. Alright, well, let's get started with the basics of actual toxic wall cling. How do you do it? Do you not already know? You just hold towards the wall. Ha! Psych! Got ya! That's not true. Look, Toxic's only gonna cling to the wall if you hold towards that wall after the peak of her jump. Wonderful design yet again. So toxic wall cling is a little weird. If you drop off of the wall, it's going to face you away from the wall, which is pretty standard. And if you swing, bunt, or grab right afterwards, it'll face in that direction. There's a problem, though. If you're clinging to the wall currently and you try to swing, your swing will actually go towards the wall. But your bunt and your grab are both going to face away from the wall. Why does this happen? Well, let's talk about Toxic's final mechanic on the wall. If you have all 4 meters filled up, your special is ready, you cling onto the wall as Toxic, and you hit the swing button, she manually places down the spray, without you having to ever touch the ball. You'll notice that the animation for placing this spray has Toxic swinging towards the wall. And in order to keep Dion's vision, she must now always swing towards the wall to make this lore compatible. It's stupid. I fucking hate it. One quick thing to mention about spray on the wall is that although Toxic can be completely invulnerable by hiding in a spray that has been placed on the floor, her hitbox on the wall will not fit all the way inside her spray's hitbox on the wall. She will stick out on the top and on the bottom, and you will get hit and die this way. So, with all these bad things about toxic wall cling, let's talk about the silver lining. Toxic wall cling resets your double jump. You heard that right. If you jump twice, then cling to the wall, and then get off, you can jump a third time. You can jump infinite amount of times as long as you re-cling after every jump. It's great. It's amazing. It allows her to move around the stage a lot better. It allows her to keep control of the ball on the wall. It really makes the whole kit of this thing. Alright, now that you have all the toxic wall basics, let's move on to the actual wall tech itself. Or at least the beginning of that tech. But why would you even do wall tech? It's not viable. You suck. Look, there are many reasons to want to do wall tech, but there are 2 real reasons you would ever actually do it. It's viable in tournament, I promise you. If you use it the right way, do the right things, you can make it work. Decily and I do it all the time. But if you don't want to make it work like that, Wall tech is just simply cool. You can just do it because you want to look cool, because it's fun to do, and because you want to feel good about yourself. Alright, the problem with toxic wall tech is the hard stuff looks the coolest, but you can't start with that. The beginning of toxic wall tech always has to be, in my opinion, two very simple loops before you start doing anything else. So I'm going to teach you these two loops. The first one is going to be JawDrop's double bunt loop, where the ball is only ever going to be either right next to you or going along the ceiling. And the second one is going to be where you start to implement spikes in order to mix up your angles and change your options. Okay, look, that was a lot of info to dump on you all at once, so I'm just gonna quickly show you the two loops, and then I'll do a quick run through of why they're both, like, good to practice as opposed to actually do in-game. Okay, there's a lot to cover, so I'm just going to talk while the loops are playing in the background. Some notable things about the double bunt loop is you have to make sure, again, that you're holding jump. Another thing is to make sure you know jump bunting. You're jumping before you're bunting. Another thing to make sure is that after you do the second bunt, if you're going to neutral hit, you need to stop holding a direction and then hit swing and then keep holding towards the wall so you drift over there again. Okay, so for the spike loop, in order to make this work, you're going to have to hold jump while down bunting and then spike. Dino really wanted me to make sure that I put this in here, so make sure it's something you understand. Hold jump, down bunt, then spike. You should really just be holding jump all the time at this point, like I said earlier in the video, but, you know, whatever. I think speed is really important for this one. You're really going to want the ball to be above 100 speed, although it's possible at like 80 or something. The higher the ball speed, the better, up until about like 200, 300-ish. My suggestion is that you really come off of the wall before you down bunt so that you're able to actually follow up with a spike and then catch your spike with a jumping bunt. Okay, remember that these two loops are really just kind of beginner loops. You can do them in game, but don't really expect them to net you very much besides practice. These are really just meant to help you feel out what bunts are like on the wall, how ball control feels. It's very simple stuff, but it does take a lot of hours to actually do it correctly, so it's very grindy. Just don't get down on yourself, but also don't get full of yourself, I guess. Alright, just one more thing I want to mention before we get into like the quote-unquote real toxic tech is I recommend you learn how to back bunt. Just bunt towards the wall, make sure it hits there. This is really good for just setting up the double sprays, which you'll learn about a little later, as well as just, you know, being able to spray onto the wall. If you have time, I would also recommend learning how to get it off of the wall once you're on it by air turning and bunting, or by just swinging. It's really important so that it doesn't get stuck against the wall and then you lose all of your momentum. Please remember that these are just drills. You're not supposed to be doing these all the time like it's a flow chart. Learn how to do them, and then learn where to use them. So this is where my guide starts to break down a little bit more, because real toxic wall tech is, just like everything else in this game, sort of free form. There's no like real do X then do Y flowchart type of thing, because if you do that, then it's reactable, right? So it's hard to put this in a real guide. A lot of what I'm going to do is just give you a lot of tools, show you a lot of clips, and then maybe you can get a feel for it. But really, this is something you kind of iron out over hundreds of hours of playing like you would on any character in the game. Alright, let's actually talk about something as opposed to showing you clips for just a little bit. Toxic can do what's called a double spray, where, unsurprisingly, you have two sprays hit the ball. This can allow for timing mix-ups as well as... No, actually, that's it. It's actually a really good tool to use, but if the opponent sees it coming, it's kind of useless, right? Because it's just a delayed hit lag. It's really good for mixing up your opponents, but it's not. That goes for any real tech in the game, so don't be too surprised. Anyways, here's a very simple way to do this. Set down your spray, hit the ball until you have special again, hit the ball into your first spray, grab onto the wall over top of it, place your second spray before the ball launches. Voila, you've done a double spray. Alright, real quick before the video ends, I'd really like to thank everybody that has helped me out with Toxic Wall Tech just over the years in general. So, in no particular order, I'd like to thank Decily, JawDrop, B3, Matthew, South Pine, Cooking Tiger, Meller Acapella, Nova, and also thanks to Dizzy, MDOT, Dino, and Curb for guiding me through my journey through this community. If you have any additional questions, please DM me on Discord or add me in the community server. Reminder that the link for that is down in the description. My profile on Discord is and always will be Omagigi7777. I love new players and I love toxic players even more, so just come talk to me.